You should look at this if you want hopium overload. Mamdani in Manhattan at 39% with 51% scanners reported. Zohran lead growing with E-Day. The 18% lander in RCV is a nightmare for Cuomo. Lander at 18%. Holy Cuomo at Cuomo at 34% at 65,392 votes. Okay, I just find though, guys. This is a good amount. This is a healthy amount of voting. This is a healthy amount of voting that has taken place. I think we need to call it here. We need to let bygones be bygones. Like, I'm doing a Dave Wasserman, but this time I'm saying, like, you know, stop counting. Stop counting. This is good. This is a good amount of counting. Another dump has hit the Twin Towers.
And why she is a primary candidate tonight. We'll hear from her a little bit later. Back to you, Errol. Okay, thanks very much, Kelly. And we've been looking at the numbers, Courtney Gross, I mean, we're over the 50% number, meaning more than half of the vote for mayor is in at this point. What patterns are you seeing?
So we're going borough by borough. Okay, it just updated on my screen here, but you know,
I'll only figure out if Mamdani actually has a real shot at winning if these guys start panicking. Okay, that's the best possible way to figure out if Zohran Mamdani has a good shot at winning here. Once they start hitting the, oh my God, they're going to assassinate every single one of us, like Pol Pot style, for wearing glasses and being counter-revolutionary, only then will I know Zohran Mamdani is actually
is quite interesting to me, especially when you go and you dig into some of the more the demographic data in some of these districts. I'm thinking about Harlem. That is a community.
Well, they mentioned Sharia
Harlem
law
with Andrew Cuomo a few weeks ago, covering an endorsement by Governor David Patterson and the former assemblyman for that district, Keith Wright. And I'm looking at the assembly district for 71. And Zohran Mamdani has double the number of votes of Andrew Cuomo in that district. That to me shows that even though the polling has shown that perhaps Zohran Mamdani was not doing well with black voters and 50% of black voters were in Andrew Cuomo's camp, that maybe there was a demographic shift and there ended up being more black voters in Mamdani's camp. Of course, preliminary numbers, 50% still need to come in. Cuomo was doing very well on Staten Island, like we heard the Attorney General say, who's digging clearly into these numbers as we do as well. And he's doing well in the Bronx, which we've seen from the polling that is turning out to be the case.
Well, you know, as they say, it gets late early around here. The percentage of scanners at this point is over 2/3. If this is a basketball game, we'd be in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter. There's going to be a shrinking amount of time and a shrinking number of votes. And as you know, we knew that, and as we've told our audience, whoever gets to 50% first is the winner. So this lead that we've been looking at since the first numbers came in shortly after 9 shows Zohran Mamdani about 7 points away from 50% and victory. Andrew Cuomo, again, we're expecting numbers to come in for him.
You can say 6. It's 43.8. Come on, don't be stingy.
Going
it's
2 to 1 for Mamdani. That is striking, and that is telling, and that could tell the story.
Yeah, originally when we first got that first tranche of voters coming, or early votes coming in, there was a 10-point lead. Mamdani had 9 or 10 points, and now that's shrunk to about 8 points.
In Ben-Hur and Diker Heights.
He's at 43.8% of the vote right now, and like you said, it just takes 50%.
Oh my God, the podcast vote, dude. Oh my God, I am so... Dude, I joked. I said the podcaster vote was insignificant. It was inconsequential. I was wrong, okay? It's got all the motion, okay? Nick Mullen left, rise up. It's actually real. It's the podcast is real. All the boys, they got together, the Chapos, the Truanons, the Come Towns of the world. This community as well, I think, is like in the podcast circuit as well. I did not realize that Brooklyn was the crown jewel of New York. I had no idea. Okay, I did not know it was like that. I do not see a scenario where Zohran Mamdani will not be the Democratic nominee come ranked choice voting final round. Stop. Adam Carlson calls it. Did I just get locked out of Twitter? What the f was this? Stick a fork in it. Zohran Mamdani will win the first round of the Democratic primary for New York City mayor. Zero path forward for Cuomo to make up that ground with RCV. Zohran's working class support looks like it was dramatically underestimated by polling.
I haven't had a chance to really see an update of numbers or see where things are, so I can't really speak to that. I'll just say that anyone who wants to be a successful mayor of New York has to build a coalition that covers the full spectrum of New York City. That's
Bro, if you didn't miss your 11 p.m. flight, you could have been at the victory party with the Cumboys. Dude, I don't give a
November and then governing for the next 4 years, particularly in this age of Trump.
This is a glorious day, no matter where I'm at in the world. Are you kidding me? I don't give a shit if I'm not there. I'll be there tomorrow if I want to. I'll be there by the end of this week. This is for everybody. Okay, this is a W for everybody.
Months ago at Rochdale Village.
Also, I did say that I would move to New York for a little bit if Zohran Mamdani became the mayor. Maybe the old Democratic establishment starts throwing their weight behind candidates their voters keep saying they don't want just an idea. Look at that. Look at that. The commentariat is coming in. The commentariat is now coming in. The reason why this race is important, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything crazy. But the reason why this race is important is because everybody focused on the New York mayor. When Eric Adams won, people started fantasizing about him becoming the next president, okay? The next presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. Obviously, that was laughable. He was dog, and we all knew that. But all the dog commentary people, not saying the Podjons are, but like the Nate Silvers, the Nate Browns of the world, were running around talking about how Eric Adams is going to be the next president. That was what Matty Iglesias was saying. Okay, everybody's paying attention to this race at a time when there is a very unique dynamic within the base of support for the Democratic Party and the Democratic establishment and their ineptitude becoming glaringly obvious. People are looking for a fighter. Zohran Mamdani represented that change. He represented that dynamism. He's young. He's fresh-faced. He is uncorrupted by the normal forces that have caused all of this awfulness that New Yorkers are experiencing. People like Andrew Cuomo. It's almost like a Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders style situation. Okay? The fight is not over regardless. He still hasn't crossed the finish line. And even if he crossed the finish line in the primaries, make no mistake, I can totally see the Democratic Party and the forces that were trying to wrap Zohran at the end will maybe even take it and do something like an India Walton style situation and try to prop up Andrew Cuomo. These guys are disgusting, okay? They are pathetic, vile demons. Do you understand? So the fight is not over yet, which is part of the reason why I'm not, overly ecstatic. But this is a really good sign. It's not just a really good sign for New York City. It's not just a really good sign for New York City. It's a really good sign because this is one of those undeniable sea change moments that could potentially pick up steam, okay? Just like what the Justice Democrats election victories did in the primaries under the first Trump administration. This is an opportunity once again, and this time the Democratic Party is even weaker than it was before. So if they don't do it for us, we will force them out, okay? If they don't actually represent the interests of their constituents, this is an opportunity for us to represent our own interests by force and claw back power from the corrupt gerontocracy that is so comfortable in their seats, so comfortable with business as usual politics because they are getting paid by the same corporate benefactors as the Republicans are. I have never seen, this past week 100% proved it, okay? 85% of the American public said no war with Iran. 5% said yes to war with Iran. Donald Trump went to war with Iran, and not a single Democrat in a position of power, like in higher ranking Democrats, actually came out and unconditionally said, what are we doing here? We don't want war with Iran. Nobody in this public nobody in the American population wants war with Iran. And we're spending billions of dollars at the behest of Israel to go to war with Iran, doing war crimes, bombing nuclear facilities and that over there. When we got cities that have homeless people everywhere, cities are crippled, infrastructures are crippled. Nobody has health care. There's an affordability crisis that's looming. All these, like Donald Trump supposedly won on the affordability crisis message, and he hasn't done dick. All he's done is deport your neighbors, and not a single Democrat in a position of prominence is actually using this to their advantage, even from a cynical, cold, calculated view. At this point, you have to assume that they like what's going on. They see all the violence, they see all the indecency, and they stay quiet because they don't want to do anything about it because they like what the Republicans are doing. Okay? Layoffs happening everywhere. There's so much instability. And then we have Gestapo black bagging people in the middle of the street with their faces covered. Nobody knows if they're cops even. Maybe some of them are white supremacists that are deputized by ICE. And we just have to sit around and take it. It's bullshit. Okay? This is why people like Zohran are important. Okay? They give people the audacity of hope, the audacity to dream that politicians could actually represent the interests of their constituents for once. They could actually run on a progressive message for once. And they can be uncompromising and unconditionally brave enough to say, no, I like this. I think we can do this. I think we can help the working poor. I think we can have free buses. I think we can have state-owned grocery stores as a pilot program. Modest social democratic reforms in one of the wealthiest cities on the planet, and people are talking as though they're going to do they're going to assassinate every landlord in the city. It's bullshit. There will be no capital flight. Make no mistake. There will be no capital flight from New York City. Okay? It's bullshit. Even the mere threat of capital flight is enough for so many in the media to just immediately go, oh, we can't have this. We can't have this. Well, there's more of us than there are of them. Do you understand? What's wild is the election day ballots may have broken more to Zohran than the early voting. A huge showing. Cuomo was about to be broken, says Ross Barkin. I'm not going to speak like it's over, but goddamn, dude, the gap between the Democratic political class and the party's voters on this issue is colossal. Look at this. This is not just the Democrats either. Look at this. Independents also disapprove of this heavily. More good news for the New York City left. From Taniel, excellent news for the New York City left. There were 10 city council members of the Progressive Caucus who faced primary challengers today, some of them very ideologically polarized primaries. All 10 incumbents are leading by a lot. The election center projection, Zohran Mamdani is a projected winner in New York City mayor Democratic primary. He will defeat Andrew Cuomo and Brad Lander. What happened, dude? I thought the Jewish New Yorkers were so scared and they were so Islamophobic. Turns out that was actually a narrative coming from just the media. Travis, this guy said he would arrest Netanyahu for crimes against human rights if he came to visit New York City. This is what this guy said. This is a disaster. Oh, that's so good. Oh my God. Oh my God. All the liberals who were upset about, Zohran Mamdani being a socialist or whatever, just enjoy how much the Republicans are going to lose their minds over this. Please, just, it's time. We will forget all the fucking stupid tweets you put out there. We will forget all the, This is a safe space, okay? All the liberals who were constantly complaining about Zohran Mamdani, he's too radical. He's too radical. I want, I don't know, one of the other guys. We will forget. We will forgive as long as you enjoy the moment.
This guy said that he would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu for crimes against human rights if he came to visit New York City. This is what this guy said. This guy said he wants to replace police officers with social workers, Sean. If you need help because you need the NYPD, this guy says, no, we're going to send you a social worker instead. This is a disaster, maybe unbelievably worse than Chicago, worse than LA. New York City is on the cusp of electing the worst mayor that they have ever chose, Bill de Blasio. People are going to be wishing that he was the guy.
Dude, they're having aneurysms. Oh, that's so awesome. That's so sick. That's so sick. Oh, all right. CNN is back to talking about the Iran nuclear sites looking real bombable again. Oh, my Lord. Looking submissive and bombable. Adam Carlson had a decent take on this as well. It turns out that the sexual predator who was funded by Republican mega donors who cut Medicaid, stole from the MTA, who lied about the nursing home death toll during COVID, who was the physical embodiment of the Democratic status quo, was not what New York City primary voters wanted. It's coming. Fidel Castro is coming.
In 2021, still some of the political figures who called on him to resign back then turned around and endorsed him for mayor this time. A political road to redemption that's proving rockier than anticipated for a man who has led virtually every poll since announcing his candidacy for mayor in March of this year, March 1st of this year. The numbers, not what they hoped to see. Dick, Jessica.
Extraordinary turnaround.
Exactly right. Cuomo's been out of the game since 2021 when he resigned over the sex assault scandal, sexual harassment scandal. And I think what he was trying to do was...
Mamdani doing autocrat numbers in Bushwick, Ridgewood, and Astoria is amazing. Mamdani walking through Crown Heights tomorrow. That's right. Y'all thought he was Shia. Turns out he's a Baathist, dude. That's right. Yeah, he was a different kind of... turns out he's not even Arab, but turns out he was an Arab nationalist, a pan-Arabic nationalist movement understander. Mamdani won 72% in Greenpoint. That's crazy. Man, imagine if the stream was in New York right now. It would have been so good. Okay, everybody calm down, okay? It's fine. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. New York City's soul is rotting. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so good. Cuomo's losing several precincts in Flushing to a socialist. John Liu's endorsement looks like it helped here. Chinatown in Manhattan is a Zohran sweep. Let's go. White Chinese, rise up. By the way, there are numerous hurdles here, okay? You have the general, which will be an issue. Well, not as big as an issue, but still an issue nonetheless. But you also have, then have competence when you are the mayor, because the same issues that I was mentioning will still obviously persist. Same issues will obviously persist as far as like when he is mayor and he does try to do some of the things that he wants to do. I have confidence in him. He seems like an earnest person, so I have confidence that he will push very hard. Just now, Zohran's comms director tells us he's feeling very confident, gives credit to the relentless focus on an economic agenda. Fear-mongering didn't work.
Are standing here behind me.
What did Eggboy say? Cuomo and all the people who lined up behind him absolutely deserve to lose. Just an absolutely cursed series of decisions. Oh my God.
I'm sorry that Andrew Cuomo...
Eggboy, don't even act sweet right now. Don't even, this is your to hold too. Who did Eggboy even talk about? He was like, he had like a immediate out the gate loser that he was pushing for. He actually was also another one of these he also was another one of these like anti-Zohran mother. Now listen, when I said like liberals, this is your opportunity. It's okay. We'll let bygones be bygones. We won't criticize you. Obviously, Matt Iglesias is not one of those rats that are jumping the ship right now as it's sinking. Okay, that's a little bit different. Yeah, if Cuomo ran a better campaign, he would have won. Is so funny. Like all of the that Cuomo represented, all of the centrist Democrats once again showed their ass on the last second. Okay, all of the centrist Democrats showed their asses. Bill Clinton came out and was like, only other guy that does right good as me. I have to do it to him. The OG, the legend himself. Remember, I made him almost. Did he almost make him HUD secretary too? Like, he's my day one. Part of the elation among progressives tonight is about Israel. It wasn't just that Mamdani survived opposition by AIPAC. Is that he refused to back down and even leaned into the suffering of Palestinians. You should have seen that too. That plays a role in this as well. I mean, he moderated his message quite a bit. Zohran moderated his message quite a bit on this stuff because he was constantly getting relentlessly hammered. And it's a good moment to recognize once again that courage, bravery of this sort, saying what you actually mean and making sure that it sticks and being unafraid to say the truth about things like this, especially when it comes to Israel, when there's like an unlimited amount of bullying that takes place. If you actually say the truth about Israel being an apartheid state, something that virtually every human rights group agrees on, okay? Every single one of them, and that Israel's doing a genocide. These sorts of things are no longer impossible to contend with. You can just say it, and it is a moment of relief for a lot of people, I think, that they can't even like gum up the works with this nonsense anymore. I hear a lot of people talk about Zohran's supposed political instincts, but someone who was ruthlessly focused on becoming mayor of New York City would not die on this irrelevant job on the hill of intifada just means struggle.
Like
oh my God.
2 weeks ago today.
Oh, this is from a couple weeks ago. I thought he was still posting this.
Tonight. And a few days later, Ezra Klein followed it with the nicest things anyone has ever said about me other than Meg and my parents.
What's happening in New York City is a blaringly loud message to those in the Dem establishment who still cling to old politics, recite focus group talking points, and are too afraid to say what needs to be said. We have a lot to learn from Zohran Mamdani and his campaign. Bro. There are people out there that are giving this advice for free 99, okay? Free 99. It shouldn't take for someone to overcome to take on this Herculean task like Zohran, coming out of nowhere and being propped up by simple people power for the goddamn Democrats to actually turn around and say, hey, maybe we got to change our attitude here. Maybe we got to change trajectory. Stop following after things change, okay? Stop being followers. It's okay to be a leader, all right? It's so annoying. And my fear is that the Democratic establishment doesn't want to win anyway. So instead of looking at this instead of looking at this moment and learning a very important lesson that there is a lot of mobilization that can take place. There is a lot of animosity towards the way things exist in this country, okay? And guys like Zohran, populist messaging that hyper focuses on alleviating people's day-to-day stresses, their economic pressures that exist on top of them, is a successful method to campaign with. They can do this. But the issue is, do the Democrats want to do this? Will they actually do this? Because that requires them to basically drop the corporate oligarchy, their corporate benefactors. New York City swung right in the presidential election, but just nominated a Muslim socialist for mayor. This country isn't getting more right-wing. People are just fed up with cowards who don't stand for anything or care about making anyone's life better. This is not the vote we envisioned. I don't believe we are winning this primary election. Cuomo campaign advisor Frank Cedillo, ex-chairman of the Brooklyn Democratic Party, told Cuomo will run in the general election and the fight and deliver ballot line. He said, we're just transferring the race to the general election. Of course, this is what's going to happen. That's why I said the fight is not over. 75% Bangladeshi vote. This ad paid off. Bro, you told us all elections the Democrats simply are just going to become more right way. What? Are just going to become more right way? What do you mean? I mean, the Democrats have become more right wing. They clearly have. This is a direct attack against that, because while they're going more right wing, they try to make it seem as though they're doing this not for their own personal benefit, but because they want to win elections. They constantly present this alternative vision where there is this moderate voter who wants the same kind of fascist policies of Donald Trump, but just more gay, more smug, more elitist. That's not real, okay? That's not real. That's not what Americans are looking for. They're not looking for the gayer version of what Trump is offering. They're looking for any kind of vision that breaks the existing system, because the existing system they recognize is not helping them at all. A big part of Trump's appeal comes from the fact that he's a mallet. He's a hammer that destroys. In the eyes of people, he is a hammer that destroys all of the institutions. He doesn't destroy it to rebuild it. He doesn't destroy it in the right ways. Okay, but at least it's a change, is the way that a lot of people
campaigns. But I have to tell you, this was a really special, talented group of people. I want to thank all the elected officials who stepped up. I want to thank the labor leaders who stepped up. I want to thank the carpenters, where we got it started in HTC in 1199. Give them a round of applause.
You suck. Big unions too, bro.
They were
Jesus
really fantastic.
Christ.
I want to thank Mayor Bloomberg, who stepped forward in a big way. I enjoyed having the team back together again. I'll tell you the truth. People came back from when I was at HUD. The old HUD team came back. That's 30 years. As a New Yorker, I am a Muslim. As a New Yorker, I am Jewish. As a New Yorker, I am black, I am gay, I am disabled. I am a woman seeking to control her health and her choices, because as a New Yorker, we are one community.
That's crazy. I can't believe you brought that back. That was wild. Did you guys hear that?
We discussed. But tonight was not our night.
Why did he say that?
Tonight was Assemblyman Mamdani's night, and he put together a great campaign, and he touched young people and inspired them.
Hold on, I gotta get my hat.
We'll be looking at that. We'll be having conversations with that, because the work is what is most important, and the city is what is most important, and the progress for the city at this important time is what is most important. And in the meantime, I just want to say thank you again from the bottom of my heart for
we won, right,
your
guys?
really fantastic effort and friendship. Again, I want to applaud the Assemblyman for a really smart and good and impactful campaign. Tonight is his night. He deserved it. He won, and we're going to take a look. We'll make some decisions. But I love each and every one of you, and I thank you for what you've done. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just answered. Thank you.
Trump's first post about Mamdani is going to be very funny. I know. Oh, get wrecked, dude. Oh, that's so good. R.I.P. Bozo. Just don't run. Just save yourself the dignity. I mean, you're not a dignified person, but I mean, the smart thing to do is just not run. Don't even run. F it. Did he just concede? No, I don't think he conceded. Did I misunderstand something? I don't think he conceded at all. No, the plan for them always was if they don't make it in the primary, they will hit the he kept saying he won, but I think he was just talking about like the primary. If you guys think, no, it's not a real he conceded by saying he won. He said he didn't commit to running again. Oh, what? Well, I don't want to believe because I'm a big Cuomo supporter, as you guys know. So I don't want to believe that Andrew Cuomo actually conceded. I hope not. I was really excited. I needed New York mayor. I need New York mayor cop to win again. What? Are you guys telling me he's not going to run in the general? I don't understand. He all but conceded. It all depends on the media coverage from this point forward. He's not willing to be embarrassed by losing in the general. It's a pride game for him. Okay. Well, is Richie Torres going to be okay? Because I think he said that he wasn't going to run for governor if Richie Torres, Zohran win. Richie Torres says no thanks to 2026 gubernatorial run. To have like a far left mayor who's strategic and smart actively working against you, that just feels insurmountable. Wait, no, not guys. You're telling me Cuomo might not run and Richie Torres might not run for governor? Stop it. This is the worst night of my life. I don't understand. Those are my two favorite politicians. Well, at least Andrew Cuomo can go back to working on the international criminal court case against war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu, which he weirdly enough decided to join the legal team of. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of time on his hands now if he's not running for mayor. That was the reason why I like him so much. That's a man with an eye for justice right there. That's right, by the way. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Cuomo famously, for no good reason, decided to join the legal team of Benjamin Netanyahu. One might ask the question why that is even a thing. Andrew Cuomo, okay, Sally Goldenberg says, senior editor for Politico says, just conceded Democratic primary for mayor in New York City, Zohran Mamdani. Cuomo had universal name ID, 25 million PAC backing him, and tons of institutional endorsements. Mamdani is a 33-year-old socialist. The magnitude of this cannot be overstated. Bill de Blasio comments. What's my other socialist king saying?
I should note that you were urging people not to rank former Governor Andrew Cuomo. They were the two front runners going into this, it seemed like, based on the polling. But you do think that ultimately he's going to pull it out here based on what you're seeing so far.
Richie Torres. Richie Torres. I don't know if you're watching. We're coming for you, Richie. Poorest district in the nation, Richie. We're coming for you, Richie. You're probably not going to survive another one of these races, Richie, but you better go work for a lobbyist real quick. Maybe get a job at AIPAC or something. Oh, no, Richie. Oh, no. What was Richie Torres doing the last election cycle that he was on the ballot on? Coming up to the general. Oh, that's right. He was too busy posting not about his district, poorest district in the country, but instead was posting about a streamer, the only progressive Twitch streamer, as a matter of fact, in the top 10 live streamers in this incredibly right-wing infested space, trying to get him deplatformed. Oh, Richie. You got a real nice seat there, man. Emerson College poll, round 1, February 3rd. Cuomo at 33%, Mamdani at 1%. Listen, this is the first time I'll say it. Maybe podcasts do have motion. Now, this isn't obviously that, but there is a tremendous amount of effort paired up with Zohran's own personal charisma and his incredible team. Like, all of it came together so perfectly. A lot of resentment against establishment Democrats in general, running up against someone like Andrew Cuomo. But yeah, this is wild. This is wild. I don't know what to say. I mean, insane. This was a real people-backed movement for a guy that don't get too comfortable, folks. The numbers from Israel aren't in yet. Yeah, that's true. You helped this? Not me. You did. When we went out there and we were walking through the streets with Zohran and all the people that were coming up, those were, people that work in his campaign. Those are you guys. You guys did this. You all played a role in this. You went out, you door knocked, you canvassed, you phone banked, you told your friends, you made unique content. This is an amazing moment for sure. And yeah, shouts out to Brad Lander, 100%. I think he had every opportunity to rat fuck Zohran, every opportunity, and he stood by him. Respect to Brad Lander. Let's hear what Bill de Blasio has to say.
And I think it's a combination. I did not expect Zohran to be leading with the overall number one.
Okay, so this wasn't our issue. This was like literally the Bill de Blasio had bunk ass audio.
Votes. With our ranked choice system, the number one votes tell you something, but they don't tell you the whole thing. I did not expect him to be leading at the end of election night. I think this is a stunning result. I think the early votes, who they came from, where they come from, are staggering. We've never seen anything like it. Now, also, we have to reflect what's happened here. Zohran ran a positive campaign talking about affordability. Cuomo ran a very negative, fear-based campaign. This has made a huge difference. People at this point in New York City, they are hurting for sure, but they didn't just want to hear how bad everything was. They wanted to have some sense of hope, some sense of solution and vision. And I think the big story here is Zohran Mamdani as a person came across as a much more likable person, a much more connected person in terms of everyday New Yorkers, but he also spoke of going somewhere good, not just what a horrible situation we're in and, keep the negative influences away. He actually created a vision of something positive that could change in the city.
We got like 30 seconds left. What does this mean for politics in New York City? I mean, would you have imagined a candidate with a platform like what he's run on would be in this position? What does that say?
It takes us right back, honestly, to where we were in 2013 when I ran. It was all about everyday kitchen table issues, income inequality, affordability, the same issues. I think it says the New York City electorate wants change. And they are progressive, and they had a candidate who actually made them feel comfortable.
Huh. Mayor Bill de Blasio, we'll wait to see who is the next mayor. Thank you so much for joining us on this breaking news. Thank you.
I will say I don't like using like Republican terminology, I would say, or like Republican strategies here. But this is the closest that the Democratic Party has had to like a Tea Party. And obviously the Tea Party movement was not grassroots. It was obviously AstroTurf by the Koch brothers. But like this right here is the closest to like an organic movement that could potentially take over the rest of the party. Who knows?